Um, Hogan came out, which we knew because they filmed a video. They filmed a video that he was there. He was in his special attire. That you could say he was in his attire, and we knew what was coming. And people knew it was coming because it was kind of advertised that Hogan would be there. And online, people kept saying, "Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. It's not a good idea." He came out there with Jimmy Hart and the good old American flag, and my heart broke for Jimmy Hart. But he was out there waving, and that music hitting, and it was the old-fashioned Hogan, the "I am a real American, fight for your right, fight for your right." He came out there, and that when they realized what was happening, because I think that sometimes people have delayed reactions because people are like, "Oh, they're cheering," and then it was like, "Wait." Instantly, he came out there. The whole goal was to promote Real American Beer, which is a brand he didn't create.
Which is his beer.
I think it's more like, I don't think it's, how they have like people who make beer and then they make you the face of the beer. So like, yeah, it's your
I
beer,
think that's what,
but it's not really
I'm
your
sure
beer.
that beer probably tastes like his old blonde hair dye. Like
It tastes like Kid Rock.
Kid Rock sweat.
Ew! Yes. Ow. Kid Rock sweat. But yeah, he came out there and baby, the boos. I haven't heard a boo like that since Roman Reigns when he beat The Undertaker and they just booed him for like 10 minutes straight.
Yeah. Like
That
when you're a
was
fan, when you're a fan, you know when a boo is like really good heat or a boo is like, oh, you're messed up. Like that was that
yeah.
kind of boo.
Like there's boos like they boo John Cena, but it's boo no, what was it? Kurt Angle. They boo Kurt Angle, you suck. Remember
Yeah.
that? But we know that it's out of love.
It's out of love.
Like we love you, but you suck. But we say that because it goes with the song. It's the whole thing. We love you. There's what because we do that because we love Austin and the whole whatness of it all. But this was like genuine from the cooter. Boo! And have the camera just stayed on this one couple who's just like, yeah, woo. The whole time.
I didn't recognize that.
Because you know how usually it goes through the whole sweeping crowd.
Yeah.
It's a dome, and it was like they broke the record for like the amount of people that came. They also broke the gate as well. So like they usually do the sweeping of the crowd, and they stayed on one person, these two people, the whole time, and they was like, yeah, real American. The boos. I watched it on TV, but you had to see the live. It was louder for the people in the audience. Where it was earth-shaking boos.
Yeah, I heard the recordings. I heard the recordings for people who were actually there at the arena. The boos were way louder because in television they mess with those volumes and they tried to drown those boos out, but you can still hear them. You can still hear them, but like it was worse. And what's funny is that so Hogan came out and I was away from the screen. I had stepped away, but I can still hear everything that's going on. So I was like, okay, great, Hulk Hogan, wonderful. And then I started doing some things. I can't remember what I was doing, but I can hear the boos a little bit, and then I hear Hogan start his speech, and I'm far away, so I'm not even looking at him, mind you. You can hear in his voice how bothered he is by all the boos. So like I listened to it and I'm just like, is he okay? What's going on? So then I run back to the screen and then I'm watching him and I'm just like, oh, he is drowning right now. And poor Jimmy Hart is just waving his flag around. He's trying really hard to just keep up the momentum. And yeah, I feel like Jimmy Hart was put there to kind of like be a buffer so that way people can still kind of cheer and stuff. But like Jimmy Hart just like he was kind of in the crossfires. And yeah, you can hear if you hear Hogan's speech, he's struggling to promote. He's struggling to talk on the mic. He's struggling to come up with some words and whatnot. And like he truly feels bothered by it. And I'm sure he'll deny every moment of it, but he looked very bothered by it. So I really hope this is a sign that they need to keep him off the air, keep him away. He does not need to be touching this product. You should not be promoting his beer. You already know how controversial he is, and then on top of that, we already know like a day later he came up with the excuse that he only got booed because of his political affiliations, which is not true because the Undertaker is a Trump supporter. I cheered him just fine. Tiffany, she's a Trump supporter, cheered her just fine. Who else?
All of WWE, who runs WWE, the McMahon family. Hi, Department of Education.
Stephanie McMahon was there.
Triple H is sitting up there in Mar-a-Lago, and who did we cheer when the show began? Triple H. He's partying in Mar-a-Lago, so it has nothing to do. And on top of that, on top of the podcast, there was a documentary where Undertaker did about his knees and everything falling apart, and it was like the 4-part one. It was really good. Point is, he came in there with a Blue Lives Matter shirt that you could recognize certain things and certain coded shirts and words. No one cared. Yeah. No one cares. And I think that we're at the point where, who won the popular vote? So therefore, we don't care.
You're just a
even
shitty
if you
person,
don't like.
You gotta admit it. He's
just
a shitty person.
Terrible person. He's an absolute terrible person. And this is not the first time that he's gotten booed. This is probably the first time that it's been this loud.
Yeah,
it's not the first time he got booed. He was booed before during the pay-per-view, or PLE, or whatever they call it now. He was booed. They came in. It wasn't as strong, but he was like, oh, okay. But he did his little rah-rah thing. But you could see that, as you stated, he was struggling. He was on that struggle boat without a paddle because he tried to bring up Andre the Giant, America, Macho Man Randy Savage, people that, yeah, woo, Macho Man. No, they wasn't here for that. I even saw some people in the audience turning their back to him. It's him. They don't like him. And so, yes, he did give a statement about it. And he did say this, that, what? Jesus is my notes. He gave a statement about it. And basically, he stated that he was disappointed. He knew that they booed him. It was brutally booed. And he stated, he's disappointed. And that whole pivot to, oh, what's my politics? It's not your politics at all. But I think that it would be a really great opportunity for WWE to be like, just don't show his face. You can keep the logo on the mat, which, by the way, there was like 20 logos on that mat.
That mat is hideous, by the way.
The mat, it was black. They should have probably went to the white. I'm pretty sure Hogan would have liked that much better. White mat. Made of white canvas. That is a cloth. But yeah, no, this is what he said. Sorry. He said that did Hulk Hogan think he was going to be cheered, especially bringing out Jimmy Hart, the gimmick, who everyone likes and who was also waving an American flag at the time. That is a resounding yes. Now, this is the source, but Daily Mail and their sources is probably just Hogan. The insider then explained that Hogan was stunned when fans turned against him during his promotional appearance. When he came out, got booed, and then went to the back after his promo, he was instantly disappointed that the fans turned on him, but he wasn't pissed. He said, disappointment quickly turned to optimism as he recognized the business potential of the moment. This has been actually a great promotion for his beer. And as quickly as he was disappointed, he thought about it a little bit more and is actually excited by how it turned out. I mean, you got to make lemons out of lemonade. You got to filter that.
I'm sure they're going to take advantage of this. Like, if anything, they would turn him heel. They'll turn him Hollywood Hogan or some other type of heel Hogan, and they'll take advantage of this just so they can promote his beer. And that's what pisses me off, is that this piece of crap of a person can still benefit financially with this company just because he can take advantage of the heat rather than being a face.
And this is the thing also. CNN, Variety, Fox News, other major outlets, Deadline, they talked about the booze. They didn't really, yeah, you could talk about the show, but what made the headlines was the booze. So I'm wondering, this, as you stated before, this is a really great opportunity. Does this, in a way, kind of almost a little bit stay in the show, or is how does it go? What Eric Bischoff used to say? I I forgot what he used to say, but the point is, any news is good news in terms of its promotion.
Any publicity is good publicity. Yeah, it's
any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah. As an adult, yes, I will admit, yes, that's the truth. Like it's gonna work out for him. He can completely take advantage of this, and I think it's gonna be a spot in Raw that's gonna be history. Honestly, it's gonna be a part of history. These boos, but he's gonna take advantage of it, and it's probably gonna work out in his favor because WWE has millions and billions of dollars. They have plenty of people who know how to market things properly, and writers and producers, and they have this gear that they now have to market because they partnered with Hogan, so they have no choice. So they have to make it work, and it's gonna work. So yeah.
Don't they even have a minor stake in the company?
The beard?
Yeah, I think they have a minor stake in the company. But yeah, also, it's a great way for, go on Fox. Oh gosh, I was booed for my beer. And then that's how you create sales with the demographic that's like, we don't boo over here, brother. So it works out for him either way. But then I was also wondering, do you feel that overall that this is a moment where we put away nostalgic acts like Hogan from the 80s? Even though to me the 80s was 20 years ago, it's actually over 40 years ago. So it's like over 40 years.
I think there's a point where you overstay your welcome. I think it's okay. I think it was okay when they brought Hogan in, for example, when he went in NWO again, like when he came back and he went in NWO and they tried to bring that back. I think that was okay. But like when you continuously come back every time you need money, or every time you need to get some more butts in seats and try to get some more viewership, I think those are crutches. And every now and then the Undertaker's gonna pop up. That's gonna get tired really quickly. Every time The Rock wants to pop up every now and then, that's gonna get tiring very quickly. I think there's a point where that just needs to stop.
Which, by the way, I think The Rock bought more stock, where it's like other $11 or $30 million more in stock.
Dude's gonna end up being Triple H's boss.
He already is, because he's on the board.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Triple H would have been.
Yeah, no, but he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't own stock like that. I think he's just elected, but The Rock has stock, so he has money invested in it. I'm sure Triple H does too, but I know it's not. I know it's not as much as The Rock is.
Like, there's a part of me that's really, really happy for The Rock and Dwayne Johnson and Rocky Johnson in terms of how they were treated by that man. And to see a black man on the board, yay! Because we all know Vince's history with certain shades. He'll name a dildo after you.